Hey, everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Strand Tennis Center podcast, filled with tips, advice, tennis, not tennis, just life advice too, whatever you need. Like it on YouTube, share it on the podcast as well. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strand Tennis Center podcast. I am Steve Capel. I'm your host. This is our, I don't know how many podcasts it is now. I'm not really sure. That would be a weird thing. I know it's Thursday.
At least 40.
40?
Yeah.
We've done this for 40 weeks in a row?
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's insane. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to talk. It's fun to express ourselves, get in contact with our inner selves, Sunday.
Yes.
Very important. We were talking about what were you bringing up before we went on, and I wanted to address it. We were talking about, what was it, with the social media thing? What the heck was it?
No, wasn't it like transitioning?
No, it wasn't transition. We'll do that. We're not. It's not Caitlyn Jenner. It's a different transition. What was it? We were talking about. You were talking about we got some followers. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about? Don't even. You don't have to talk about that. Okay. But don't mention the number because this is my whole point.
Okay.
My whole point is because of the way society is going. You know, they're testing this out, not showing the follower content to anybody.
Right.
Only your back
like
end would
views,
know.
Like
correct. Only your back end you would know. If you're a business, you would need to know the analytics. But it doesn't show anybody. What do you think about that? So I don't know how many followers anybody has, how many views.
It's hard now because people know how many people have, especially certain celebrities. But like, if you can't see it completely, then that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What do you think about the psychological ramifications
Here's
of
what
that?
I find very interesting. This is like a random topic, but you know, we use a lot of TikTok for Strand and stuff. And you know, there's like certain songs that are trends, or certain sounds that are trends. So there's this one band that I listen to, and I know nobody really listens to them, but for some reason, one of their songs, their sound is like a trend, and all these people are using it. I'm like, these people don't listen to this band. I'm like, I like that they're like getting exposure. But I know that these kids that are just using the sound don't really listen to the band and like appreciate the band or the sound.
So you're more of a purist to it. But what do you think that means? Do you think they're just is the band making any money then?
Well,
are they
going?
They're not going to the show because they only know.
Yeah, they may not.
Are they even buying the song or downloading the song?
I don't know, but I mean, I like that they get exposure, but like at the same time, you know, I just find it interesting that like. There's another trend where they're using the ABBA sounds. A lot of songs from the movies that ABBA does for what they sing for. What's it called?
Oh, I don't know the
Greek Wedding, something like that.
Oh, okay. My friend's cousin's Greek wedding. That one. Which one?
Mamma Mia. Sorry.
Oh,
Mamma
Mia.
Totally different.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
They're in Greece. Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And a lot of those sounds are viral, so like kids are learning about different songs and stuff. It's very interesting. And like kids just go with what's viral and what's popular. They care about views and stuff for sure, but they care about like they just want to be noticed. It's the same thing as what it was 10 years ago, honestly, because teenagers, when I was a teenager back then, you know, we just want to be like liked and noticed and stuff.
Oh yeah, I think people are always the same. They're not changing. It's just exposing us in a different way, right? So it has nothing. I don't agree that people are like, oh my God, social media is terrible and the internet is terrible. That just sounds like an old person. You read the history of anything, and they always were afraid of new technology. People were always afraid of something corrupting our kids and all this stuff. Look, people, you know, how many hours were my friends on the phone? When they were kids, the girls are talking for 4 or 5 hours. My sister was on the phone the whole time upstairs. You don't think that's a distraction or that's some sort of looking at magazines, all that? It's all the same. It just happens to be able to be scalable. You can, you know, show somebody a picture it can be seen by millions of people instead of you saying, "Oh, go, what happened? Look at the recent Vogue and go check it out." Yeah, it's just they just figured out to digitize it and scale it. I don't think humans are all the same. I mean, they don't really. That's why I think maybe you shouldn't see the follower content because then it will not like because it's scalable. It won't make people feel like
You're saying they'll like follow or like it just because they like the content more than because other people are following and liking it.
That's true. I think people will follow whether it be Kardashian or do something because there's so many followers. I think if the follower content wasn't there, the view content wasn't there, they would like it for what it is and not go, oh, maybe if I like this or comment, I will. There's so many like trollers and people that comment to get their own promotion,
clout and stuff.
So they would have no idea, right? Hey, CJ, what's up? We're just live. Buddy, you look good. I like your outfit. We have these new white shirts. We started the Strand, Santi. I was kind of anti, like,
white?
Country, anti-white. That sounds so interesting. No, we're talking about shirts and colors, not races, Santi, please. Right. It'd be funny if I was anti-white because I'm white. That's pretty funny. Funny. We were anti-white and collar because it was like we weren't like the country club. We were different. So we were all black. And now it gets to the point where it just doesn't matter because we're not professional anyways, right, CJ? So we can wear white, black, green, or orange. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But the new shirts are nice. They're white and they're... CJ, come into the camera. Show everybody the new white shirt. Nice little blue logo, nice little white. Look at the handsome face. Look at that. That's the key. Look at it. That's the best. So we were talking about social media and content. I think it will. I don't, because there's so many people that listen. We have a small amount of followers, but you'll get people on the comments that'll say, "Come see my site," right? Yeah. Because they know we're getting a lot of views or a lot of content. People just won't do that anymore. They just won't know where to do it. They'll just spray and pray and go, "All right, maybe I'll figure out where to get promotion somewhere."
You know what's interesting?
What?
I would say like a few months ago, I found our tennis videos on another person's Instagram, but it was like a tennis Instagram, so it was like a compilation of like random tennis videos.
Oh, so he's like, it's like,
so he like downloaded it and then posted it.
How about that, CJ?
And then like it was like one of our tips and clips or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty interesting. At first I was mad, but I was like, oh, this is
good. It's good promotion. Yeah. It's like collaboration. It's like when people take quotes from movies and put it on their thing, or comedy stuff, and they put it on their thing.
But the thing that made me mad was there was no like
credit.
There's no credit to Strand or anything. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Tell me let's give them some credit. You should tell me the name. We'll do the opposite. We'll be nice. We'll give them a little promotion.
It was just a random thing. Like a lot of like Instagram pages, they like highlights of like certain players or certain points and stuff, and then like compilations of that type of stuff. And we were on there, and I was just like, what is this? I was like, this is a Strand. I was looking at it. I was like, this is blue? This is gray. I know this place.
Santi's the best. I know this place.
And I looked at the little caption on the bottom. Nothing Strand, nothing. I was like, you motherfucker.
Santi, I appreciate your loyalty.
I was a little mad because I was like, I film all these videos.
Yeah, you make them.
Yeah, I was like, it's okay. But it's cool. It's cool that I guess, we're spreading the joy of our place, I guess.
No, I think it's I think it's good. I think it should be an open system, and people, unless it, I don't know. I mean, is there anything that isn't? Oh my God, it's all about people. How many things are when they were taking? You remember when Steve Jobs convinced I forget. I don't know if it was the Rolling Stones or somebody to put their music on iTunes and stuff like that. What are you gonna do at one point? It's like
it's commercials.
Yeah, it's like the record. Yes,
U2?
I think. Yeah, the U2. Yeah. I think it's the record business in general, right? When Napster started, they should have embraced it and got a part of it, and then they're becoming inconsequential. You can't control that. You can't control things like that. Things are going to be open. Technology will take over things. I do believe it's a weird sort of thing. They're saying like, where's the intellectual property anymore? But now it seems like artists and painters can make money on the internet like they never could before. Mm-hmm. Like how many paintings people, my wife has bought things from artists on Instagram. They could have never ran a business that way or had anything. They'd have to go through a curator. They'd have to go through this site where they get a cut and they get a cut. You can go direct to the consumer now. So, and I guess art is different. You can copy art, but what are you going to do? If somebody makes a painting and then you can see that painting very similar in other places as well, what are you going to really do? There's copyrights for songs and music like that, but I don't know. It's tough. You can hear the argument either way that you're infringing on my copyright, or it's tough. I think there's great pros for the artist on the internet, and there are cons. People are going to swipe stuff and steal stuff and share it. So, what I don't like is when the big music people, the big bands that have made millions already before the internet go, oh, who cares? Well, there's a bunch of small bands that are trying to make a living at it. Yeah. So I would care a lot about people swiping all the music and stealing it all. I really would agree with that. But there's pros and, I don't know. The internet takes all the middle out, right? It takes everybody out. Like, I can sell something to you directly. No one's in between anymore. There's no more gatekeepers. And we're changing this, but but you can go into blockchain too, That's going to take out everybody. The blockchain is kind of Web 3.0. It will take out everybody. You know what the blockchain is, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, if I go to sell a house, it's a ledger on there. I could sell my house to you directly on that ledger without a title insurance company, without any of that, because we won't need any of those middle people, any lawyers, anything, because we've made this agreement. Yeah. And it's on the ledger, so it's legal. It's legally on the blockchain, digitized. So you cannot argue about it. But obviously, there's going to have to be some middle ground. I would assume there's going to need some police. I can't sit here and sell my house to you on the blockchain, and then you decide to say, I'm not going to move my stuff out. You know what I mean? It's really tough. Like, I don't know how that's going to work, but I can see a lot of things getting the middle out. So, like musicians,
that's why they're trying to regulate the whole crypto market. And
I think regulation of the crypto market will be great for crypto, because there'll be a bunch of institutional money that goes into, because it's regulated. Right now, there's so much fraud with Bitcoin and crypto.
Yeah.
You need it regulated. But I was talking about, but now the artist can sell direct to the consumer that way and not have to give everybody a cut. So they're, NFTs, right? Non-fungible tokens. Yeah. Like, I can sell music in an NFT format and then get royalties in perpetuity. So in other words, if I sell my song to you, you buy it.
Right.
And then you can then do anything you want with that NFT and you resell it, I get a VIG on that sale.
Oh, really?
Forever.
Oh, cool.
So that's why it's great for artists. So if I'm a painter and I sell a painting digitally, when people are buying NFTs like crazy, and I sell it to you, my family's taken care of. Say it's you sell it.
If I buy the NFT, I don't own the whole thing. Is that what you're saying?
No, NFTs have digital. They have smart contracts. So I could say, listen, I'm going to sell you this digital painting.
Yeah.
I made this digital painting. Yeah. And it comes with a real one too. I can do that if I want to, but I don't have to. But if I have this digital painting and it ends up, I sell it to you for $1,000.
Yep.
But it ends up being worth $7,000. You resell it.
Yep.
I get a cut of that resale.
Oh.
So you can make another $100,000, $1 million on a secondary market. But right now, Picasso made a bunch of paintings.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any cuts of all these ones that are sold.
Right.
No one does. They get sold to Sotheby's, and that's it. They're done. Then Sotheby's sells them, and that person owns it, and it's sitting in a vault, and if it increases in value and they sell it, it's their money. Yeah. So that's the good thing about NFTs.
Interesting.
Technology. We've gone to technology, CJ. We've gone all over the place. This is going to be a podcast about handing the keys over.
Oh.
But we'll get to that. But it's very interesting talking about Web3. I could talk all day about it. It's because you're going to do things like clubs are doing it too. They're selling NFTs, and with that you get specialty passes. So the NFT gives you a special access and all those things. So, and then I can then sell that special access to somebody else at a higher price. And then I get a cut of that. It's a great way to. It's a good business way. It's a great way to make money.
So flipping.
We're gonna flipping, but you're getting a VIG.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's cool. So this podcast is about handing over the keys. CJ, CJ probably doesn't know what handing over the keys means, but I think you should do it as a business owner. You should definitely do it as a test, at least. I mean, at minimum, do it a couple of days or 3 days or 4 days a year, but we're going to do it for a little longer. And giving the keys means give the keys to your number 2 or number 1 or number 3 to run the facility. And I'm going to ask Santi, why do you think there's value in that, Santi, to give somebody that works for you the keys?
You show that you like trust them and you're challenging them at the same time, and then you can't as an owner you can't baby something forever, or else you'll mentally go crazy maybe, and you can't that's what I would say, at least as from the owner's aspect. You have to definitely trust people more, and it shows that you trust us taking care of your business and growing the business or keeping it afloat at least.
Correct.
In the long term.
I think all those are correct from every perspective. I think you can use a phrase called shared ownership. You start to trust people to say, listen, you can run this like me because you're caring just as much as me. Or not. I wouldn't expect you would care just as much as me, but you have the aptitude and the ability to do that. And I, sometimes, and a lot of times, the owner is the problem. He's the problem in the process sometimes. And it's a great way to test that and to go, sometimes when people think that they're going to be missed, they are very narcissistic and they have a problem. So you have to, even for me, if I step back and look at myself and go, I have to step back and go, listen, I'm not that important either. You guys can handle this, and sometimes I get in the way of the process. Happens a lot. There's a book called The Flight of the Buffalo. If you ever read this book, it's very good for you to read it because you're taking over the keys. CJ should read it too over there as he's quiet, looking at his computer, focusing. Flight of the Buffalo, I said this on a podcast before, when there is a lead buffalo with a herd, and when there's a lead buffalo, all of the herd follows that buffalo, the one buffalo. And when people started to realize that Indians, any hunters of buffalo started to kill the lead buffalo because they didn't know where to go afterwards. The buffalo had no idea what to do, so they would take over the lead of the buffalo. So this is called the flight of the buffalo because you don't want to run a company that way. You don't want to run a company where I'm the lead buffalo because if I get shot in the head, no one knows what to do.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
So the flight of the buffalo is about, and I should know the species of bird, I'm sorry, whether it's anybody, seagull, I'm not really sure, geese, but they fly this way. And when they fly, if you can see that, they fly like this. There's no one leading. This side leads, this side leads. They fly in this triangle position.
Okay.
Where at one point, the left side leads, the right side leads. There's no leader.
Okay.
And that's the big thing to realize. So you have
but
to.
It looks like there's a leader.
There isn't. And that's the beauty
really
of it. It's like this, and they're flying like this.
Yeah, I've seen that in the.
So there's no leader, and that's how a company needs to be run. That, Santi's leading today. Yeah. And again, it can't be chaos. You can't have 35 people thinking they're leading. Right. But everybody knows they're in this, where's the birds going? They're going to a specific place. They know where they're going. So like the business, we have a specific goal. Everybody knows what they're trying to do. We're trying to create a situation where we're giving lessons and people are happy and we're booking more lessons. And because people are happy, we book more. And we're trying to always keep doing that, have people improve, making sure they're improving, making sure they're feeling better about themselves, make sure they walk out of here and go, boy, I really feel good about myself today. And I love the way they make me feel. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. So everyone at some point can take the lead in that, as long as they know where they're going. And that's the big key. So when you have a lead buffalo, the kids are getting demos. This is the greatest. See, we keep this going, and the kids need their demos. Yeah, and they need paper towels as well. There you go. This is the best. Hey. No worries. Paper towels. How are you? Good job, Rich. How was the lesson?
I didn't have it.
Oh, you didn't have it yet. 3:30. All right. Or 5 o'clock. I'm sorry. Usually at 3:30, aren't you? 4:30.
He asked me to change it, and I accommodated.
That's very nice of you. I appreciate that.
I'll see you later. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Customer service at all times, Santi. So it's so great. It's
Always
so funny.
alert.
he didn't see me even talking on the mic. I'm just
No,
like,
they
he
don't even care.
doesn't even care. He's like, who cares what he's doing?
Camera.
What is he?
Hey, paper towels.
That is so funny. And Hey, Tyler, come on in. We're live. But we're so funny. Rich was over here getting his paper towels, and I'm sitting there talking on the mic. He didn't even know I was on a mic or a camera. It was very funny. We have to have Tyler Lowe on the podcast, too. He's been here for a while, and he's the best. Tyler, next week, we're going to have you on. Exciting. Tyler is excited. That doesn't sound like sarcasm. That doesn't sound like Tyler.
He talked about his
very genuine
college years.
Enjoy the show. So that's the difference between a buffalo herd and a geese herd or any type of birds. They are lead together.
Okay.
And so my job is to step away as much as I can because I don't want to be the lead buffalo. And like a perfect example, like last week, and it's a practicing thing because
that's very humble of you. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but that's very like, as like an owner of a business, that's very like interesting to say that like you're okay with like us leading or us, you know what I mean? I feel like I guess because you've done it for so long, leading the whole thing. Is that what you
okay, I appreciate it. I definitely do, and it's also both. It's my own reasons too, because I can't keep pushing this forward all by myself. How much energy do you have to do it, right? So it's also for selfish reasons too, right? So I got to be honest. Like I want you guys. I don't want to be a micromanager. I don't. I like when people can do their own thing and feel like they have their own life. I really like that a lot, but I don't have the energy to police Tyler around. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Tyler will tell me, forget it. Tyler's the best. Close that door, Tyler. I'm an important podcast here. So no one has that kind of energy. Even people that are great, like leaders, and they have a great charisma, and you see them all over social media. They hire people below them that really, really, they let them delegate, and they report to them, but there's a lot of stuff going on that they're like, you know what? You figure it out, you do it, we'll check in, we'll see how it goes, and then we'll reevaluate if it's not going well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So at one point, you don't have the energy to do it, and then at one point, people don't like it. Like, you cannot get into a situation where you're making every decision, telling people, no, this is what we got. You have to allow things to happen. Let people make mistakes that are manageable. And my job is to be like, I had to do it. We talked about it this week. I made a couple of decisions, right? Mm-hmm. I have to do those. Yeah. Because you definitely need that leadership to say, okay, look, you're more experienced in this. You have to make decisions because it's a fine line, right? So if I make every single decision and I micromanage, it's going to annoy the shit out of everybody. But if I don't make the important decision, I don't look like I'm strong either. Yeah, so it's a fine line. If I say, hey, Santi, could you, let this employee go? You're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not doing that shit.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. But
I'll do it, but I shouldn't be the one doing it.
You shouldn't be the one doing it, right? So there's some important things that need to be done, and that helps guide. So I'm part of this flight, right? So sometimes I'll push a little bit and lead and stuff like that. So I think the only way for a business to scale, and I tell this directly to every pro that comes in here and thinks that the lessons are theirs. I say the same thing. We started at a small space. Mm-hmm. If I was the lead buffalo, I'd still be doing every goddamn lesson. And I'd be like, no, I have to do every one because I'm the leader and that's the way it's got to go. Or I go on your court and I tell you, listen, this is what you got to do. Yeah. And on the court, no, this is not right. Like, that's a ridiculously bad leader. Yeah. If we can talk afterwards in a one-on-one, I say, hey, Santi, here's a piece of advice. Maybe this make your lesson better. Yeah. Like, that's a better way to talk to someone.
It's not as embarrassing.
It's not as embarrassing. Yeah. It's not me trying to look good and you trying to make you trying to look bad. There's there's a ton of nuances to leadership which are real important. So when I sense listen, I've been trying to do longer kind of, I guess we call it key gifts or key givings or longer have the keys for a while. And this one's going to be the longest one because it's you guys. You guys have shown the ability to, sometimes I'll just sit in the corner over there while you guys are talking and know that, you know what, I can probably have the answer to this right away. And I didn't. And I leave it alone, right? Oh, okay. Back and forth, and I go, let them do it, let them figure it out. Because if I come and give the answer, guess what's going to happen? Yeah. You guys are going to turn to me every goddamn time. Yeah. And I told you it happened 2 weeks ago where somebody was texting me and going, we have a problem. I'm like, this shouldn't be texted to me. Yeah. You guys can handle this. Solve it.
Yeah.
Solve it. So the more that happens, the more everyone's job gets better. The more you enjoy it, I'm not hanging over your head, the more Chris, CJ, everybody enjoys it because they're like, hey, we know the vision, we know the goal. Don't micromanage the goal. That's why Apple was great. Jobs was insane, right? He was a little bit crazy, but he said you hire good managers and trust them to do it. Like, you don't micromanage the shit out of it.
Yeah, you let them manage.
You let them manage and do their job. So giving the keys will be a longer period of time here. And you always have to realize that short of the building burning down, you got to trust people they're going to make mistakes. And again, like if there was a mistake made, like I say I'll be gone and there was a mistake made and I called you and I was like, what the fuck? You'd be like, well, this just sucks. I know, right? It can't go that way.
Yeah.
Because that's not being gone either.
Yeah.
That's just being a pain in the ass. So to me, how this is going to go, Santi, if there is an emergency, someone will get a hold of me. Okay. But when we come back, we'll have a review, which we do. We have a review and say, listen, pros and cons, what do you think? What do you think you need more help with? What do you think you struggled with? Okay. And then we grow from there. That's the way it's got to be. Okay. Right? And look, it's the only way for a company to grow in any way. Like listen, these companies are hard to grow anyways. Again, we can go to the parameters of this space, how big the building is, how hard it is, and how the barrier to entry for an indoor tennis club is very difficult because they built all these clubs in the 70s, and the soft cost to build a building in the Northeast, and Chicago's a big area too, is super expensive. You're going to build a soup to nuts building, 45,000 square feet. It's a lot of money. Yeah. Everybody's going to go, listen, I'm going to build condos. That's what they're going to do.
Most money.
You get the most money per square footage, right? You can put how many units in 45,000 square? You're going to put a lot of units in there, right? So that's the trade-off, right? So you have to realize that the only way to grow inside this business is to give some freedom and parameters to the people that are there. And the way we can grow is then, like I said, I can think of more ideas outside of this club with the freedom to, and there's so many ideas that pop in my head, so many businesses that pop in my head with the freedom to do it. You don't need me micromanaging an idea about a schedule on Tuesday and who's going to do, like, it's silly. Yeah, those things bog down your brain. I need more time to be able to say, all right, there's a couple of great consultant ideas here that I can do. So you guys are good to do it. Like, what is your how are you feeling? Like, are you excited about doing it? I mean, you've run a restaurant before. Or do you feel like
fine? I'm just worried about the week that I'm gone. But
isn't that funny?
Yeah, that's like while you're talking about this, I'm like, oh, this is real. Okay, while I'm gone, blah 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 is gonna happen. But the thing is, summertime's not as bad.
That's why we're doing it.
And my schedule's not that bad, so like, finding whatever for me is fine. And then, while I'm gone, I'll check stuff and things too.
So as kind of the administrator of Pickle, you'd be like, okay, let's get these ducks in a row. Yeah. Who are doing these things? Yeah. Who are doing these classes? Yep. And if there's any emergency, Chris, CJ, get a hold of me in regards to doing anything Pickle-wise.
Yeah.
It's only a week.
Exactly. And most of the stuff is the same stuff, so it shouldn't be that, it's just like, can you get me on the list? I'm like, all right, that's basically it. That's all it is. I want to play tomorrow. Am I on the list? Like, no, you're not on the list.
Yeah, it's not brain surgery.
Yeah. That's all I'm worrying about. So.
Well, good. I'm glad you're only worrying about that instead of going
in that way, though. Like only because obviously I'm worrying about my stuff first, and then I'll worry about everything else later. But I feel like that's a little selfish of me.
No, but it doesn't seem selfish. It seems like you're confident and you know how to do your job. Oh. So you're like, I'm here. If I was here every week, I'd have no problems.
Yeah, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like, I think it was like in the winter or something, or I forgot where you were. You went somewhere.
Did I?
We were fine. You and Marie were gone for like a few days. I forgot where you went. I was like, this is fine.
I think we went to Charleston or somewhere down in South Carolina.
We were like totally fine. It was,
See, it was better, wasn't it?
No, I wouldn't say it's better, but it was fine.
Yeah, you just don't need your boss hammering it over their head. It's better off if it doesn't. So the keys are really important to give over and give the trust to the employee. I think it's, and I keep on talking about it, and I think it's really a lot harder than it is, because people, it becomes their baby, it becomes their thing, it becomes everything to them. That's why in a small business you have to be able to make quick decisions too. You cannot like lament over decisions. You have to be able to make them and make them quickly, because in a small business you're responsible for, 20 to 25 people's lives. So if you screw up and don't make the right decision, you're responsible for everybody else there. And those are questions we have with people and employees all the time, when you have to tell them something they may not like to hear and say, listen, unfortunately, fortunately or fortunately, I'm the one in charge, and I have to make this decision for everybody in the group, not just for you. I have to think of 20 other people when I make these decisions. I can't say, oh, let's give this another shot for 6 or 8 months because I don't know, you're asking. But it's not just about me.
Right.
If we allow those things to happen, that means, who knows? 12 people could be out of a job, and then it's my fault. I have to think of the group. And that's the most important thing, and that's good for you to learn when you take over the keys. You have to think of everybody. When you make these decisions, you have to go, okay, wait a minute. If I do this for this person, is this not a good decision for the team? The team is the most important thing, because I think we've discussed it before, like, why were the Patriots so great? I know Brady left, but why are these teams so good? Because they think of the team first instead of themselves. Yeah. They think, what can I do to contribute to the team? And then if I do that, my life will be taken care of. And that's the way you have to look at it, the boss. The more I can do for the team around here, the more everyone will take care of me, and they'll be taking care of themselves. You have to think of everyone in that group and say, oh, we're in this for this common goal. You see when they win NBA championships, all those things. This team sacrificed. We gave it to the team. We said this before. Why do all-star teams lose to better cohesive teams? Because they're just a bunch of individual good athletes that aren't sacrificing.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
They just want to shine.
Yeah, they just want to shine. You sacrifice for the team, and you will achieve success. Pretty simple stuff, but hard to do, because people are humans, right? People have insecurities, they have issues, they want to shine, they want to feel like the most important, they want to get the most lessons, they want to feel like everybody wants to request them, and it just never works.
Are you nervous at all giving us the keys?
Actually, no, not this time.
I feel like you shouldn't be.
It's very strange. Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't.
I feel like nothing's gonna like. There's gonna be like major fires or anything. There's nothing. Usually, there's never anything crazy anyway.
No, I really don't think so. I'm pretty and this is the first time I'm gonna do it for a longer period of time, and really doing it, because I'm making announcements and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah. I really, and I think it's because, you're part of it too, and Chris is part of it. I think there's 2 people, and Ruth Ann's great. There's 2 people that are kind of on the court that have great management skills too.
Thanks.
Not you. I'm just kidding. I was thinking, yes, of course, something. Yeah, so I think.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
Not that bad. I don't. I'm gonna mess. I equate this to remember you told me you worked on a grill for the summertime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's called being in the weeds.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling. Like when you're in a restaurant, you're in the weeds and you're running around trying to satisfy all these people. The worst thing. This is nothing compared to that. You're just.
So you got perspective.
Conversation. Yeah. There's no fires to really put out.
I'm going to call Santi at Hawaii time at 2 in the morning. Go, Santi, what the fuck? Yeah, what happened? Santi be like,
sorry, Steve.
See, I can't help you, dude.
But then the thing is, if you did that, I would think about it. Oh, crap, what happened? And then,
I would never do that. Yeah, I've learned not to do that stuff. I've done, look, you want to talk about doing things wrong. Geez, make a list of how many times I've done it. It's just years of knowledge of never reacting in that moment. It never works. There's no reason to dress someone down, to react in a certain way at that moment because you just look like an asshole. So we could say, you can do it on both levels, on the employee side or the customer side. A customer can come in here and be totally wrong. They're totally wrong, and they're rude. Yeah. But if you act like an asshole to them, you're just wrong because you shouldn't be like, you know what, you're just a dick and you're wrong. And then everybody, because listen.
Don't you have to tell them that they're a dick, basically?
No, I've done it before where I've reacted to a person on the court, and everybody's like, I can't believe you reacted that way. They don't want to see that side because they're in this place for joy. Even if the person's wrong, they don't want to see hostility. They could see that at home. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They don't want to see it. So your job is to go to the side and say, listen, I'm sorry. I think you've made a mistake here. Hopefully you can come. Whatever you say, but you just don't ever make it a scene because. And on the employee side, you make it a scene. It's just embarrassing the employee. You take them later, and you go, listen. These are the things that I think you can help you in this situation to make it better. Unless it becomes where the employee's making a scene and you got to step in.
Oh, wait, that's different.
Sure, but that's rarely happens. I don't think it's ever happened here. There was one time it happened and I had to step in. But I've done it before. I've just overreacted. You cannot overreact in a customer service business. It's just... You can tell the person, and we've written letters and said, listen, I don't think this place is for you. We can't satisfy you because they're just an egregious person, and it's very hard. So you just tell them, look, it's not going to work. So I won't have any explosions when I'm away. That'll be fine. But that's it. It's very important to give the keys up. If you're running a business, give the keys up once in a while. Very big key to the growth and your own... And you really test whether you've hired the right people. It's on you. And if it doesn't go well, it's my fault. It really is.
Oh, really?
I've hired the people. Right. I've trusted them to give them the keys. If they screw it up, it's my fault.
That's true.
It is. Everything is back to your fault.
Interesting.
Not your fault, my fault.
Interesting.
Everything's back to me. Because I can't come back here and go, you guys are so goddamn fucking stupid. I'm like, I didn't educate them properly. I didn't. Yeah. What did I do wrong some way? Did I didn't transfer the information properly?
Yeah.
So.
Makes sense.
Everybody, hopefully you like this podcast. Hopefully it helps. Again, answer is in what? The actions, my friend. The actions. So work out, do whatever you got to do because it makes you feel better. And do like I said, do the plunge. Do the cold plunge, Hunty. Very good. Sauna 15 minutes a day. Plunge 3 minutes. Oof.
Sounds brutal.
Minimum effective dose, 175 degrees, 20-minute, four sessions, 20 minutes, but you should do 15 minutes a day then for 5 days. And go into that plunge, baby. Cold plunge is great, super healthy. Like it's something, no way, man. Cold plunge, it's amazing how your body will acclimatize real quick. Like I would go in there and be like, oh my God, I can't do this. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're sitting here like, we're doing this. You just start to convince yourself, then you start to get addicted to it. And you're like, this is good. It's so bad.
You're like addicted to the pain, is what you're saying?
You're addicted to how you feel afterwards. Oh my God. After you feel afterwards, you feel so refreshed. Yeah. But it's also a great anti-inflammatory. So your skin tight, it feels fresher. Your skin feels fresh. The sauna I thought I would like more. I like it for what it does, but during it, it's hard. Yeah. But the cold plunge, you're starting to feel like this refreshing feeling, this unbelievably like, I used to have a cup of coffee in the morning. I'm not drinking the coffee in the morning. I'm doing that. Then I'll have a coffee later in the day. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So do that. Try it. Thanks, guys. Hey, everybody. Hope you like the podcast. Please share it with your friends, anybody that you know, anybody that's into tennis, anybody that's into bettering themselves. Share it.